upload speed and everything was good. Oh, there we go.
Okay, good.
Got the mic and everything set up, so everything should be good.
Yeah, it's showing that.
Okay.
So,
We just needed your presence.
I'm gonna check on my phone to make sure that it's.
Oh, good idea. Check the tape.
Maybe turn it off.
I can turn it off once it starts.
All right. You want to point it to You think I would know the voice. Hello.
Okay, yeah, no.
Hello, everybody. We are going to get started with the sharing portion of our afternoon. We really just want to thank everybody for coming out today. There's Kleenex up here if anybody comes up to share and needs some Kleenex, I may. But it's very encouraging to see so many people here today that love Brad. And we're very excited that his brother Chris has been able to join us today, and he'll be sharing towards the end. But just thank you all so much. Brad was very much a light in all of our lives and a very charismatic character who just brought a lot of joy to everyday things. So we're just going to have, I'm sure, some fun stories and maybe some emotions. Just a very nice afternoon remembering our friend. Please feel free to continue to get something to eat or drink. The restrooms inside. But just thank you all so much for being here. Jim is going to start, and then whoever is interested in sharing, please come up.
Yeah, we are going to open it up for whoever wants to share, but we're going to just kind of kick it off. And can I just make sure, Paul, is everybody up? Okay, good. Where's Paul Christensen? Thank you so much for kind of pulling together the information that I'm going to read right now. If you guys didn't see, guys, I just want to let you know, Brad is somebody that I probably heard from every single day for the past 7 or 8 years. Every day. He was, and every weekend I'd get a knock on my door. Luke Cheeseman is my roommate, and anytime we get a knock on the door in the middle of the night, we're like, Brad. We know it's Brad. Because Brad didn't know how to do anything during daylight hours. It was always late. And as, in case you don't know, we are drinking Bradley Kool-Aid, blood orange vodka, and crayon cherry. So here's the Brad for those, or whoever has it. And there's plenty to go around, but
There's more in the house. There's plenty. So much. Please drink.
So, Brad Everett Young. He was a fixture on Hollywood's red carpets. Young was a familiar face at premieres, galas, and award shows. His photo portfolio included projects or shoots for The Hollywood Reporter, Vanity Fair, Vogue, Elle, Harper's Bazaar, People, Variety, and other publications. Among the celebrities he photographed, David Harbour, Seth Green, Emma Caulfield Ford, Kevin Daniels, Sarah Michelle Gellar, and Harvey Gilliam, just to name a few. Some of his celebrity friends are here with us today, and we're so glad you guys could join us. As an actor, starting in the late 1990s, Brad Young had bit parts on the episodes of such shows as Boy Meets World, Felicity, Grey's Anatomy, and Numbers, and he was in feature films, including Love and Basketball, Charlie's Angels, Jurassic Park 3. I didn't know he was in Jurassic Park 3. I Love You, Man. If you've not seen his part in I Love You, Man, you got to see it. The typical Brad scowling at the camera. The Artist and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Now, you see the shirt I'm wearing. Brad founded Dream Loud Official. It's a grassroots initiative dedicated to restoring and preserving music and art programs in schools nationwide. And his aim was to inspire students, teachers, and artists and remind communities that creativity is not a luxury, but an essential part of education. By the way, we are going to keep Dream Loud going. It's going to stay alive, and we will have more information as we go forward. And I also want you guys to know we're working towards one of the things Brad always wanted was an art show to show his work. We got the space. We got the gallery space. We're just trying to get some of his photography, and that's a difficult thing to do right now. Brad's passion for both the arts and the people behind them was unmatched as Christensen. He loved his mission of keeping creativity alive, and his legacy will continue through Dream Loud Official. Born July 24th, some year, in Danville, Virginia, 1979 for now, all right? He was the middle child of three, and we're so glad Chris, his brother, is here with us today. Thank you, Chris. After graduating from Chatham High School and Everett University, he was a writer, photographer, and graphic designer on school newspapers and magazines. He came to Los Angeles with plans to attend medical school. Good Lord. Brad as a doctor. Doctor, we'll just call it, yeah, Dr. Young. But he changed course to pursue acting. LA was just the place where I could make those decisions with all the job opportunities. 2013 interview. In the first month here, I went on my first audition for a TV series, booked it, joined the Screen Actors Guild, and the rest was history. And by the way, Stacie knew him when that first year he moved to town. So he's been collecting a lot of friends along the way. And I absolutely fell in love with everything in this business and the journey and strength it takes to accomplish what you want in it. Brad is survived by his brother, Chris. And we thank everybody for coming today. Oh, damn it, Brad. He's Brad's someone that I guess I love. I'm just gonna I describe him like he was the wart on my butt. He just irritated the heck out of me. You know it, Stacie. He's just such a pain in our rear, but man, oh man, we love that guy. And I got to say, this year, okay, Brad's hat. I'm wearing Brad's hat. This is in honor of Bradley, but also this is my hat. I got a rock. Charlie Brown's his show that came on every year. One of the shows I grew up with. I never knew what was Charles Schultz trying to tell us with this thing, because it's such a weird. The Charlie Brown Christmas is kind of easier to understand. You know, the anti-commercialism. What was he trying to tell us about this kid that went house to house and got a bag of rocks? This is the first year I figured it out, I think. Like, I got a rock, but I'm going to keep going. I got a rock, and I'm going to keep going. Brett got a bag of rocks so often, but he was just so positive, and he kept going, and he never lost hope. Brad was perhaps one of the most hopeful people I knew. And because I used to be an English teacher, where's Devon? You teach English, right? All right. It just we'll put this right here.
Is that the Great Gatsby?
Yes. So, Great Gatsby. This is Brad. His personality is an unbroken series of successful gestures, and there was something gorgeous about him, some heightened sensitivity to the promises of life, as if he were related to one of these intricate machines that register earthquakes 10,000 miles away. This responsiveness had nothing to do with that flabby impressionability, which is dignified under the name of creative temperament. It was an extraordinary gift for hope, a romantic readiness, such as I have never found in any other person, and which it is not likely I shall ever find again. Brad was so hopeful. Anyone who knows the Great Gatsby, it's not chasing that green light, that hope. And as I sat there brooding on the old unknown world, I thought of Gatsby's wonder when he first picked out the green light. I thought of Brad's wonder when he first. He had come a long way to this blue lawn, and dream must have seemed so close that he could hardly fail to grasp it. Gatsby believed in the green light. Brad believed in the green light, that that orgastic future that year by year recedes before us. It eluded us then, but that's no matter. Tomorrow we will run faster, stretch out our arms further, and one fine morning, and so we beat on boats against the current, borne back ceaselessly into the past. Brad, we will carry your hope forward. Dream on's going to live on. And I didn't tell him enough, but I love you, Brad.
Thank you, Jim. It is open for anybody that would like to come up and share a memory. I'm not quite ready to share one. But if anybody would like to come up, please come up. If you're crying, we have Kleenex up here, so it would be the perfect time to come up and share. Thank you, Irene.
Hi, I'm Irene. I was manager to Brad's studio. And Brad, well, yes, he was great. I loved him. I left the studio for a short while, and he'd keep me up to date on what's going on in the office all the time. I have a ton of texts in my phone right now from him. And there was one day that the two brothers that belonged to the building were fighting, and he texted me, there's trouble. I said, okay, I'll come and see if I can help. And there he was. And I said, what are you doing here? And he goes, I'm here to back you up, Irene. He's so cute. He's standing there by the trash can. He said, I'm here to back you up. And I just love him. He was a character, yes. But when he was waiting for his clients, he'd come up to my office and just talk to me for hours. And every time he had a client that was, popular or something, Irene, you got to come down. Why? What's going on? Just come down. And there it was, somebody that was, just becoming new, and Dallas is the guy that plays JR's son was being shot. He just sit there on the desk. We'll visit after. He just wanted me to see who he was photographer. He knows that I was always looking for celebrities and see what's going on. But he was a great guy. He was wonderful. I'm going to miss him. I honestly can't believe that he is gone. I was shocked and surprised to hear it all, because he was so excited, because I was gone for a year and I just got back to the office again. And he was so happy and he was so excited. And I was excited that he was there. And we always talked, and it was just great. He was just a wonderful person. I mean, anybody that knew him, or anybody that had the pleasure of even getting to know him, or even meeting him for the first time, they would see immediately what a wonderful person he was. And anyway, I'm going to miss him a lot.
Next.
Move this up a little bit. Hi guys, my name's Jesse. I met Brad 15 years ago, and we only sorry, I'm projecting here. We only started hanging out in the last about 3 to 5 years ago, and Brad was always I'm an actor, by the way, surprise. Brad was always such a supporter, and he championed me. And that was something that I so appreciated about Brad. It was very selfless the way that he would do that. And the thing that I'm going to miss so much about Brad was he was my premiere buddy. I'd always go to these, Hollywood premieres. I've seen some of you at all these, and Brad and I would go with each other, or if he got a +1 or whatever, I'd go with him, or him with me. And it was always such a fun experience, because with Brad, it was always about, connecting you to this person. And it was like just going in and having fun, and then hearing him judge about the food or the alcohol, if it was good or bad. And it was always a fun experience, because Brad was always wanting to connect you with people and bring people together. And, it was such a fun time to do that with him. And, I've met a couple people that are here through Brad, and my friend Justin here, we've met through Brad, who's also shared a lot of wonderful experiences with him, and we've toasted to Brad many times at some recent premieres, which has been really nice. And I wanted to just read you a little something that Brad sent to me. Unfortunately, it was a week before he passed, but it was a premiere of mine, and I thanked him so much for coming to the premiere, and he was so gracious with his time, taking pictures and helping organize things, and he was so excited. And he texted me on the day of, and he literally said, this is like in the morning, and he goes, "Happy premiere day. You ready for the day? You rolling over early? What time are you going?" And then I thanked him for the whole night. I had all these pictures from him, and he said, "I just got back to my car. He had parked it at my place, and he said, dude, you rocked it tonight. I've been gushing about you since we left and before." And he said, "I'll print out all the pics and do everything that I normally do with it." And then he said, "Also, I missed that we drive together home afterwards because I have so many questions that I get to ask about people's business." I always wanted to be in the know. But yeah, I'm really going to miss those times with Brad. And I still can hear his voice and his laughter. And I remember talking to Justin. I feel like he's just going to walk into the room or around the corner at some event. It doesn't really feel like he's gone. But it was an honor to know Brad and to be a friend of his and work with him. And I will carry on our tradition, buddy. And drinks to you. Thank you.
Jesse, we were there at that premiere that night. Yeah, we were there. I think it's when I met you. Brad was so excited. He took us like 2 or 3. Where's Luke? He took us like to 2 or 3 premieres that week. Like usually I avoided going to those things with him because Brad, it's just so exhausting. But we went there that night. He is so exhausting. But it was good to meet you that night, and good movie, by the way. But yeah, Brad was we were talking about, like, Brad was in his element, like on those red carpets, taking pictures. But like at the after party, we were trying to leave, and Paul, it's when we went and met you at that other party, and then we met Justin at the third party. It was like, oh, there was a party night. But Brad took us to all these parties, but we couldn't get Brad to leave because he was taking pictures after pictures after pictures. He was just engaging with everybody. Like that was his element. It was like the height. That was peak Brad. That was peak Brad. All right, who's next? Who's next?
I will read something from Brad's friend Nicole, who is unable to be here today. So my name is Nicole. Brad and I met just after high school, and from the very beginning, we were a dynamic duo. We laughed endlessly, talked about celebrities like we actually knew them, and found our way into more than a few parties we probably weren't supposed to be at. We danced our hearts out at Madonna concerts and created memories that still make me smile today. No matter where we were or what we were doing, one thing was certain. When I was with Brad, I was having the best time. Brad had an incredible zest for life, this boundless energy that seemed to fill every room he entered. He was kind, loyal, and full of heart. His passion for art and photography wasn't just a hobby, it was his way of seeing the world, of capturing beauty in the everyday. His dedication and creativity were infectious and inspiring to everyone lucky enough to know him. He was also undeniably a gym rat. Always committed, always striving. And oh, how he loved his sauna time. It became one of those small, defining details that I'll always remember, that mix of discipline and joy that made Brad who he was. But above all, Brad was an incredibly loving son. His bond with his mom was something truly special, full of tenderness, respect, and deep affection. I know how much she meant to him, and my heart finds comfort in the thought that their souls are together again now. So today, I raise my vodka cranberry in your honor, my beautiful friend Brad. thank you for 25 years of laughter, love, and unforgettable memories. I love you and will miss you forever and always.
All right.
I would like someone else to come up and talk now.
So I had the fascinating experience of knowing Brad in like both of my lives. We're both from Chatham. I was actually landing in Virginia when I heard, and so like I knew Brad from this tiny town of like 2 streetlights, and my whole family grew up with him. Like my first cousin graduated with Brad, so Brad was always the guy that like got out. He was always the guy that like made it. So when I moved out here, Brad was the first person I looked up. Brad was like the dude, he got out, man. So the first like 5 years I lived in LA, Brad was this like figure. He was like this guy that made it out of Danville. He's the guy that made it out of Chatham. And I was always like, man, what a cool like human being to have made it and doing all this passionate work. And then I got to know Brad, and he got even cooler because he was so much more of a kind-hearted, like wholesome. He kept all the good shit from Virginia, but applied it to LA. So he was at everything. Like the main thing I think about Brad is like a few people have said it, but I can't fathom not seeing him at stuff. Because like if there was a thing that was Brad, it was like he's gonna be there. So it's odd that I've been to events and know Brad. It's odd that like I'm planning my wedding, and one of the people that was like a default was Brad. So it's like a weird multiple prongs of life of like, well, that doesn't make any fucking sense. So I just want to say like he was someone that always made the event more tangible. Like you'd see him, you know, you'd have an anchor, you'd leave, you know, you'd have a pocket full of Polaroids, like you'd have like so much to bring with you. You'd have memories, you'd have experiences, and he'd be there last. Like Brad, be like, what are we doing next? What's going after this? And I'm gonna miss all of that. And I'm just stoked to get to know him, and the specificity of food and like stories. And, like the fact that the dude was like, let me make sure it's about you guys. Let me make sure I'll take the photo. I'm gonna sneak one in at the end. This feels like that, where it's like he was known by the people that loved him enough to know all the details. And I hope somewhere he's like, fuck yeah, they remember. So much love to Brad, and this is really beautiful.
I'm just gonna keep staring at people.
Well, you could say a whole lot about Brad, and I'm glad you guys are both up here with me. First of all, I met Brad through what we call a dead panda costume that I had, where it was a George Lopez commercial that we were doing, and it was very hot, and I thought I'd get a wardrobe bump for doing that. So I'm like, yeah, I'll be a panda in 90-degree weather. So, and it was like an all-night shoot, and then I just like laid in the middle of the street because it was just so overheated, and Brad took his first picture of me and tagged me on Facebook, and then we kind of became friends with that. And at the time I was doing some art stuff, and I think I did something like down in Long Beach, and then Brad drove all the way down there to see my art show, and just our friendship kind of continued from there. And he had his group of friends that he was with that he'd invite me to, but even before Jim and Christine knew him, I was kind of hanging out with him a lot and just doing different things. But when Brad came close was like, especially after his mom passed, me and Jim started getting these texts about like Wendy Williams during the day or daytime TV. And we're like, why is he texting us all this? Like, and then I realized like this is stuff he used to text his mom. So in a weird way, from that point on, he became kind of like the middle brother between me and Jim. And like Mother's Day, we'd always spend with him, took place, Cinco de Mayo, like he'd always just even you'd think he's making up, he'd be like, it's National Cheeseburger Day. We gotta go get a burger out. Like, Brad, it's midnight. And then all of a sudden you come in with 2 bags of Ralph's or like something, and just show up at random times of the night. And I mean, like a lot of people said, you get in little tiffs with Brad, and then there'd be just like silence on text message for like maybe a couple hours, and all of a sudden he's like texting some picture of food to me or something, and then we start talking again and stuff. So me and Brad kind of, which went well with Coy's speech before, really bonded over food. Like every day I'm seeing some food recipe or something with like a burger with peanut butter and jelly on it. I'm like, I want to send this to Brad right now. And I think Devon said that she still was sending it for a while, even after everything, just because it just felt like Brad's Instagram should have it. But I mean, again, like we did all these premieres and different things, but I just feel so privileged that he was like family. Like we got to go to, you know, Jesse's premiere and all that kind of like the last week or two he's here, and you just saw Brad, his element. He was just so happy when he was in that red carpet environment. Like it's such a gift. Like when you look at everything from kind of an upper point, like timeline view, it's just like, wow, I spent Brad's birthday with him at a rooftop at Comic-Con watching the All-American Rejects. And we had just my birthday at midnight. He always did like a midnight tradition where he just would like show up like it's your birthday's eve, and he'd show up with a little cupcake with a little candle in it and then cheers you at midnight. That was kind of a special thing. And man, just obviously so many memories of him, but just kind of what I want to like leave us with is that Brad was always happiest for us when we were doing the thing we're supposed to be doing. Like if you're doing acting or you're moderating panels or you got your big screening or you're focusing on writing something, he was always his most proud. And like Brad, a lot of times it was hard to get a compliment from Brad at times, but when you're doing something, he was like true, like, see, you're getting work done. You put this good post out there. You did this film. You did this thing. He was always so proud and stuff. And so I think how we honor him best is by pursuing those things. I kind of like feel like I can never be the same post Brad. I have to like move towards certain things, but we have like our traditions and things, and we will keep those things going. Like Dream Loud, we want to keep that going for Brad, but we just, really honor him by doing those things he was encouraging us to do and posting about and doing all the photos and things, or just who he was in our lives. And it's funny because Christine said, like, can you send us some Brad quotes? And I'm like, there's nothing appropriate I could probably put there. Was it the, it all tastes like chicken in the dark? Yeah. Bye, bitch. Anytime people are leaving or they're like, all right, I'm moving on, to say like, okay, bye, bitch. Yeah, so, or he like had this term ETC, where I'm like, what does that mean? He means eyes too close. I'm like, just fun little shallow remarks he'd do at times, but there's no one like him. And like people are saying, you have that inner dialogue of Brad still in you. Like I feel like my brain can always channel him or hear that little kind of chuckle or giggle, because nobody could make Brad laugh more than himself. Like it was very hard to get like a legitimate laugh from Brad, but he would just like say something kind of in his mouth, and they'd just like be laughing about it. So all this to say, we will all continue to dream loud for Brad. You've all been a part of his life, and like they're saying the food over there, like he got me into dipping Cheesecake Factory bread and ranch. We did a lot of Buffalo Wild Wings and the macaroni salads over there, because he'd like to do like pickled chips, like and scoop out macaroni salads. So we have all his little trashy food that we do it late at night with these Kool-Aids. So cheers to Brad. We love you, buddy. I hope you're watching. I think you are. Brad was obsessed with In-N-Out as well. Yes. And Krispy Kreme. Chick-fil-A.
I've been debating, when to come up, but 'cause I have some Brad quotes here. And,
Don't you dare say hooker yet.
anyway, but Luke, you gave me the courage too with your impersonation and whatnot, and I'm gonna follow along my notes because I'm not good speaking off the cuff like this. First of all, though, I'm here in all black, because Brad loved wearing his black. It's not to mourn him. It's just,
Slimming.
Right? Yeah. Which goes to, one day I got around to asking him, I was like, is that like the artistic photographer persona? Right? And he was like, it just hatched my baby. That was his response. And I was like, fair enough, that's good. But I first met Brad at a Halloween party at mutual friends. And that was very appropriate because Halloween became one of the holidays that we would spend together. And the more we talked and got to know each other, we ended up bonding over G.I. Joe action figures because we both collected those, as does his brother. So that was a fun thing just to geek out over stuff like that. But as far as wearing black, that was something that he took seriously, like going to carpets and everything is like how you present yourself, and we've heard about his quips and stuff, and we know he had a great wit, but saying stuff like, look, can you believe that guy over there, he dressed like he was going to play basketball at the neighborhood park? Those shorts, man. And I'm like, yeah, I know. So he was always great about that and helping me make sure, and I'm sure he would approve of the black, but he'd give me a little bit of crap for wearing a vest with it, because I was just his way. But I love that he's still in black, so Chris, you did a great job. It's a beautiful urn, and I know he'd love it. But as far as what everybody's talked about is you knew Brad was your friend because he liked to give you crap. So I went through our texts and just remembered some of our conversations, and I have some quotes from him that I thought were some of the best. So one scenario, I was bringing him to some event that I go to every year, and he, reached out to me and was like, "Is it pretty casual or dressy or what?" I said, "Oh no, it's pretty casual." And then I followed up with "Here's a pic of me there last year," and I don't want to get this wrong. And he said, "Oh yeah, you dress like you're just going to eat at Long John Silver's. Pretty casual." So when and then there was an event we went to. I was his guest at this one, and I was wearing a sweater vest and it had a monogram on it. And he looks at me and he goes, "You do know this isn't a Harry Potter themed event, right?" For the whole thing. I was like, "Oh, very good, Brad. Yeah." And then later he's introducing me to someone at that event. He's like, "This is Paul, just ignore his sweater. He's learning magic." And then at the end of that same event, just when you thought it was over, he run into him again. He's like, "Did you have fun?" And I said, "Yeah." And he's like, "Did you lose your wand?" And I'm sorry, I have to share this one, Viv, but you'll get there too. But he was coming to pick me up for an event one time. He's like, "Okay, I'm almost there. Go wait on your corner like a hooker." And that's one of the ways you knew that Brad loved you, is if he ever called you a hooker. But above and everything, his love for his friends is apparent here today and always felt. Like many people have said already, he was never jealous. He was always happy and supportive. Brad would experience FOMO, fear of missing out, but he was never jealous. There's a difference. But yeah, that's the main thing that I noticed about Brad right away, and that I'll miss about him, is how he brought people together, that he always wanted to elevate people and celebrate people and be your biggest cheerleader. He was always encouraging his friends to do what's best for them and their careers and take it to the next level. So I think that is, like Luke said, that's what we're going to do to honor him, is continue on our path and continue to dream loud.
No, right? I can be barefoot. I was always barefoot around him, and that was more of a hooker thing. I'll leave my glass here so we can toast. But, ooh, you know what? I'm just gonna take it off. Why not? Yeah. I finally stopped crying enough to talk a little bit. But there's so many scenarios I can talk about Brad with. He is like, I feel like he's just gonna like come through right now and be like, "Hooker, what are you talking about up there? No one wants to hear your yellow striped ass." But I just want to say something very specific. He was one of the most important people in my life during my pregnancy. And I saw him so much. And everything was about, whoever's been pregnant here would know, everything's about doctor's appointments and your health and when's the baby due and about the baby. And Brad still just made it about me and wanting to, talk about what we want to do, what's going on in our careers and how to elevate that and how to elevate me and make me feel good. And he is just a person, man. He was. It's really hard to say but he was that person. And we're very different. I'm Latina as fuck. And he is country, but he brought the country out of me every damn time. I bet he brought the country out of everyone. So, and never losing that accent either. As long as he's lived here, he was so country. I don't think I ever had the McDonald's app either before, or knew there was one. You got it too after you knew. There were special occasions for all kinds of the Starbucks Sugar Fairy Danish, the what else? I don't know, Fry's Friday that we would talk about. I know Zach because of Brad. So much artwork, so much beautiful life. Jesse, I feel like his female counterpart for being on carpets as well, and it didn't feel like we were actors or we were like performers and stuff. It felt like this was home for him too. These red carpets, that red carpet was Bradley Everett Young. He always said Bay. He was the first Bay. There's only one Bay, and it's Brad. But no, I felt so at home with him, and he got to meet my son, which makes me very, very happy. And yeah, I was his hooker. I was the hooker to his hillbilly, and I took him to his first salsa night, you guys. That shit was lit. So, and he still couldn't. I know, poor soul. We tried. He did this. No, take it over. Not even that. I love you, Brad. We love you, and I want to raise his punch up to him. Oh my gosh, Brad, you're everything. I know he was all made fun of me because I prayed a lot, but my God in heaven, thank you so much for giving us Bradley Everett Young. He lifted all of our spirits up and made us all feel whole and human and like we're worth it. We are all worth it. You're all worth it. So, okay, I'll sit down now, Brad. I love you, boo. I love you.
I'm a proud Brad hooker too. Thank you.
You gotta make the pup.
Stacie's the queen though.
Okay.
She's the one that never got called a hooker. So he was scared to death of her. And I think that is the ultimate badge of honor, Stacie.
Oh my God.
Does anybody else want to say anything?
I do, but I'm not ready.
We're not done yet. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry.
We're not done yet.
Gonna fucking do it.
Well, somebody's going.
Do it later.
Get back, Hooker.
Hey, everyone. I'm Zachariah. I met Brad in April of 2022 when he moved in down the hall from me. He moved his studio in down the hall from me. I'm a photographer as well. I met Brad. He was so friendly instantly. And like after talking to him for about 5 minutes, I'm like, I think me and him are going to be cool. I think we're going to be friends. And it was like the easiest friendship I'd ever had. I think it's just like, so, as soon as I exchanged contact with him, he would message me probably every day since that day. And, about who he had coming in the studio, who he was shooting that day. He's like, hey, I got somebody coming in, you want to come shoot this person? And then one day we ended up shooting Harvey Guillen, ended up being my very first photo in a magazine in Esquire. And yeah, it was just there was never any ego with Brad. I've never collabed with a photographer before Brad, and it was just like there was never any ego. Our styles were so different. We worked together so well. But yeah, I think Brad was one of my closest friends within the last 4 years that I've known him, almost. It's hard not having him here. I still don't know exactly how to process this, but I loved Brad, and that was my guy. He was my partner in crime, really. We had tons of BTS that I need to compile from our shoots, and lots of laughter, lots of laughs, lots of random funny moments. But I really miss his laugh. I'll never forget that laugh. He had a great laugh. Yeah, always calling people hooker. And he told me so much about so many of you guys, and he just loved you guys. I'm gonna butcher this story. I want to tell a story that he told me, and I don't even know if you guys know this story, Luke and Jim, but he told me about this creepy doll that you guys had at a Halloween party, I think, and he took the liberty of throwing it out. But every time it was a witch, yes, a bouncing witch, and he's like, he told me you guys kind of freaked out over this thing a little bit.
I threw it away.
Yeah.
In the garbage.
1 year later, it's on my porch. I throw it away. 1 year later, it's on my porch again, and I never knew what was going on.
Yeah. So Brad thought it was funny to keep this witch every time he threw it out. And sneak it back in randomly at different parties just to freak out Luke and Jim.
We broke it and then threw it in the backyard.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever bought a new one to try to have it come back.
Yeah.
Someone told me he was trying to climb the fence to get that.
He
never told us.
He never told you guys. He was so proud of that. I thought that was hilarious. That was so funny and so Brad. He's just like, let me creep out my Christian friends. But he loved you guys. He loved everybody here. I know, he championed so many of his friends, so many actors. He was really proud of everybody that's here today. So I don't. There's so much more I could say, but I just don't have the words right now. But I love you, Brad, and I'm gonna miss you.
Devon.
She's on hold.
Oh, okay. Come on,
I
hooker.
got it. Okay. Never mind. She's not on hold anymore. Did you hear what he said? I'll be a hooker.
I forgot that you tried to sell my baby too.
Brad tried to sell your baby?
Oh, a few times.
That sounds right, though.
Brad tried to make money off my daughter.
Sell my
too.
It's like, you don't need that baby.
Okay, I'm gonna do my best. Hi, everybody. This is not easy.
It's okay. It's okay.
Love you, Mama.
Yeah. Let's give it a beat.
Yeah.
Let's give it a beat.
Okay. I'm not even drinking. No. Okay. All right. Okay, when I met Brad, I was 24. Oh, 47. That's old. I'm glad I'm an English teacher because I would never fucking survive in the industry that y'all are in. That shit. He and I met. I'm from LA, born and raised Valley girl. Fuck yeah. Sacramento Valley, 4 generations. My sister. 818. 424. What the fuck is that area? Anyway, it's like the 646ers in New York. Anyway. Okay. So I'll stop cussing. It's a big problem. I'm sorry, young people. I teach college, and the only way to engage students is to fucking cuss all the time. Because they're like, did that bitch just say that? I'm gonna get my shit together. So I moved back from Savannah, born and raised in LA, went and followed out a guy to the south.
and had a great time in Savannah. Came back, and I went to the LA Fitness over on Chandler and Coldwater. So I was the friend that Brad, we worked out together like fucking fiends. And we would sauna together, and we would slap all the shit on our bodies to lose more weight. That's not real. Right? I mean, that's not real. So I was a Pilates teacher at a sick ass core. Don't have a good core anymore. It's fine. My husband still loves me. He's going to be here soon. So I taught Pilates, and I was down about ready to teach my class. And I was like, who is that motherfucker on the elliptical? Like he has never been on an elliptical before. And I was like, you need to come down to my Pilates class because that's going to help you a lot more than this fucking cardio on the elliptical. And he did. And we've been friends ever since. And then we graduated with, I met Stacie, I met Kash, and we were all like Tybo.
Oh, not me.
Oh, no, sorry. But we were Tybo people. We went to Billy Blank's studio on Ventura Boulevard. We would do double back-to-back classes to get fucking Brad skinny. And that motherfucker was skinny for a second. Did you see some of those photos? I mean, he worked hard. And then I had babies and got married, and he was like, you're dead to me. That's something that Brad would say. That bitch is dead to me. So I had a little bit of a break from seeing Brad all the time, but he was always a part of my family. He came to like Christmas and Thanksgiving, and my parents got divorced, and he came and like trimmed the tree with my parents, and it was just beautiful. And I can't even fucking believe this is real. I hate him that he's not here because he would love this so much. He would love the fact that so many people, all of his friends in all of these different places in his life are mashing together. You know, like I heard about Jim and Luke forever. I heard about Christine and Becky. I heard about all of these Vivians and Pauls, and I don't know who the fuck you guys were. I was like, they're your cool friends. That's fine. I know I'm just an English teacher raising babies. But I do have a beautiful, Vivian, thank you for that. Like I have a beautiful picture of, Brad would do like that Christmas in July thing for his birthday. And there's a photo.
88
I'm like,
years old.
Huh?
88 years old.
88 years old. That's right. And I think it was at Anna's. It was at Anna's house. That could make me weep. And I was like 8.5 months pregnant, totally overdue with that beautiful little lady over there, Layla. And I was like, Brad, I'm not coming to your fucking fancy birthday party. I don't want to see all of your Hollywood friends. I don't feel cute. It's like 60 pounds. I gained 60 pounds. It was 1,000 degrees. But he made me come, and I came, and I'm so glad I did.
And didn't he tell you he was pregnant too?
Always. We're going to go on those stairs, and we're going to get rid of our baby weight. That sound about right?
Awesome, Devon.
I know. And so I have photos of him that he's taken of my kiddos, Polaroids, black and whites of Layla when she was 2. She had no hair. Now she's got these beautiful fucking locks. I don't know where that came from. But anyway, it's just wonderful to see you all here. And thank you so much for your love for him.
Oh, I'm drinking water, so that's lame. So you can raise it and tip it as you see fit. Okay. All right.
We're wrapping up. So if anybody else wanted to come up before we invite his brother up.
He's coming.
But I'm going to invite his brother up.
Oh, wait. We can still do more. We can still do more now.
Hello, I'm Chris Smith. Brad's a character. Just say a little. Dream loud. He was a good guy. Best brother I ever had. Which I only had one brother. So thank God, because he can't deal with 2 of me and I can't deal with 2 of him. So definitely. But he moved out here like 27 years ago, and he never wanted to come home. He said he was living in a cardboard box before he moved back to Virginia. So he stuck it out, and thank everybody for coming out to celebrate his life. So like it still don't feel real, none whatsoever. But It'll come, but man, I don't know what to say, but thank y'all for coming. Bye, bitch.
Those are two really hard acts to follow. Oh my gosh. I just wanted to share a little story. I wrote it down, but I'm going to try and see if I can do without it. Last St. Patrick's, David and I were at the Clouds, and we weren't expecting to see Jim and Luke early on in the day, and it turns out that David and I were both wearing our big shamrock pins, and Jim made a compliment on my pin, and I thought, oh, I think I've got some more in my purse, because I had planned earlier, but I was going someplace else. Anyway, so what happened was I looked in my bag and I realized I only had one, and I went, oh shoot. Well, I'm going to see you guys later on tonight. So here, I'm going to give the big one to Jim since he said something, and he ended up, and Brad freaked out. He was like, oh my gosh, you gave Jim a pen, and you didn't, the big pen, and you didn't give me one. And so I said, okay, well, I'm going to give you a little one now, and I'll give you a big one later, I promise. And he was like, oh. And so I told my husband, and I said, come on, honey, we got to take our pins off right now. And so we gave the pins to Brad and to Luke, and so that they all had the big pins. So that was the big pin. And so at that point, Brad had a little pin and a big pin. And oh my gosh, he was so boastful. And so we showed up, and it's St. Patrick's Day, and we're at the TAM, and he's going, and he's just so stoked and so happy. And he turns around and he sees me giving 3 little pins to somebody else. I was giving them to a girlfriend for her boyfriend and her daughter. Okay, there was no chance in the world I could convince him. I was giving 3 pins to 3 different people. So, but he was like, oh, I can't believe you would give that somebody else 3 pins and you only gave me 2. I'm gonna walk away. You're not my friend. So it was so fun. I handed him another little pin. And oh my gosh, the smile that went across his face was like a Cheshire cat. He went around all night, and I have a photograph that Brad took of us that night, and he's actually wearing, you can actually see the 2 pins on this side, but you can't see the little one that he put on that side. But what was icing on the cake to me was that a couple months later, we were at a party, and Brad, in classic style, said, Kitty, I can't believe you at St. Patrick's Day. You talking somebody else out of all those pins for St. Patrick's Day. So classic Brad, he blamed me for taking pins from somebody else. But the reality was he was just really poking fun at himself. So I just thought that was so sweet. And he came clean and we laughed, but it was just a really happy memory. And so I have little St. Patrick's Day pins for all of you guys. So anyway, just see me, and I got them all ready for you. So everybody, but I will never, ever, ever look at a shamrock pin without thinking of Brad ever again. So when you get yours, just remember, always think of Brad.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm not very good at public speaking, and I'm trying not to cry right now. But I met Brad first in 2018 at one of his favorite things to do, which is Halloween. And he got in the way of one of my clients at a red carpet and was like trying to take a photo of them with his camera. And I'm like, move the fuck out of the way. Like, move. Like, I literally pushed him out of the way. I was like, what are you doing? Coy, who was there at the time, was like, oh, it's just Brad. I'm like, who the fuck is Brad? Like, what is he doing? Like, he needs to move. And Coy was like, hey, Brad, move. So he moved him out of the way. And my client's like, who the fuck was that? Later on, he walked up to my client with a Polaroid of her. And she was like, I look good. I was like, fuck. Like, so from then on, like, we got talking. And he'd always tell me about things he wanted to do. And we'd go to we would come with Coy to events. And I didn't really know him too well. And then all of a sudden he just started showing up and we got talking and his love of food was something that we always talked about. I don't know, you guys all know this, but there were things he would send me, the most random shit on Instagram. He loved the KFC Double Down. Whenever that came back, it was 2 pieces of chicken instead of buns, bacon and cheese. Every time it came back, he would freak out. He'd like, we've got to go get the Double Down. He would send me the, last year they came out with some weird fucking pot pie thing that was made of fried chicken. Seasonal yeah, and he would be like, I have to do this, donuts, seasonal donuts. But I knew Brad as he called himself a professional and personal asshole. And he was snarky, he was funny, and one of the best things about him is that he would help anyone with anything. He helped so many actors and actresses, producers, writers, everything in this field, get image of themselves that they would like. Brad was obsessed with making sure that he made sure people looked good and felt good, and he took care of people when they were doing photo shoots like there was nothing. He wasn't even like known as a big photographer. He would just do it because he wanted to do it, and he would get people like I don't know, Jesse and people like that. He would take pictures of them like that they would use in their announcements and in magazines and for Deadline and all this other stuff. And he started taking photos with clients of ours. And one day I just said to him, well, why don't you do this more for a living and earn money doing it? And he never really got around to trying to charge people money. He always wanted to do it. I'm doing it as a favor. And I'm like, dude, you need to earn money. He's like, well, I'll get to it. So he just kept doing it. And when he did earn money, he was just so happy. We'd get him shoots for magazines with clients, and he would like bring Zachariah in, and they would shoot like a client for the cover of Vogue or for Vanity Fair, and Brad would just be so proud. And he was just so in love with all the work he did. And when he turned up at a premiere, he was a nuisance. Brad would go into places that he's not supposed to go. I'm like, Brad, you were here as a guest. You are not like, you're not supposed to be behind there with the other photographers. Go walk down the carpet. Go walk down the carpet and be done. And he's like, okay. And then all of a sudden he was standing in the corner with his Polaroid camera, grabbing every celebrity as they walk past. Hey, just one picture. And I'm like, Brad, you're gonna get me in trouble. He like, he just disappeared, and then he was always the last person to leave. Like, why are you still here? It's 2 a.m. Like, oh, I wanted to make sure I met this person. He would take pictures, give them out to people, and he always made everyone feel special. One of my fellow publicists, Jen's over there, she had a big premiere coming up a couple of months ago, and Brad turned up at her event and took all these photos and made them into these vignettes of videos that there was no one else doing this. I wish he could have gotten paid to do some of the stuff that he would just do for free, and it bugged the shit out of me. And I would always tell him, hey, you need to do this for money, because it'll get, but he wouldn't do it. And there's nothing more than he loved more than his brother and his niece and nephew. When he would go home to them for the holidays, we would help him get toys for them. He'd come and do events for us with Toys for Tots, and he did events for a company that I work with called Box Lunch. And when he, instead of getting paid, he said, hey, instead of paying me, can you give me toys and clothes to take home to give to my niece and nephew? That's the kind of thing he did instead of getting paid. And there was just no one like him. And out of all the time I knew him, I hate pictures of myself. As far as I'm concerned, I'm fat, I'm a whale, whatever. And he would always take pictures. when I'm not looking and hand them to me, and they'd be the best photos that anyone's ever taken. Because I fucking hate photos. But he always get these Polaroids. He came and he took over, and he just made. I'm rambling because there's just so much I can say. But I didn't meet many of you outside of his professional life. I met most of you at professional events, but I knew of you because we would talk for hours about his life and what he was doing when we were at events or when we were on the way to events in cars and everything. And so I knew a lot about certain people, Luke, Jim, the people at home, the Fab Five at home. I think some of them are watching right now. He would talk about them all the time. He cared about everyone. He cared about so much. And there's no one like him. And I don't know much more I can say than I really hope that in him passing away, he got some coverage of his life that he would be laughing at right now because he's on the cover of a fucking magazine because he died. Like, he would be like, that's the funniest fucking thing I've ever heard of. And he was I'm just so happy that everyone's here to celebrate him and that we could give him some kind of something that he'd always wanted, but I just wish it was while he was here. Thank you for everything that everyone here has done to keep his memory alive and to keep him going, and hopefully we can all keep going and keep him the special person he was. So, all right, I'm going to shut up.
All right, Stacie's coming up. I want to, before Stacie comes, come on, Stacie.
Oh, good. I take a long time anyway.
Okay. Watch out for the swinging lights. Over here to the side, we have a big white screen set up, and as anybody who knows Brad's Dream Loud, it's a lot of people with a white background. So if you get a chance, and look, do we have the black markers?
Yeah, I got some.
So before you leave, anyone who would like to go up, take a picture in front of the white screen, write Dream Loud on your hand, and that's what Brad had everybody do. So we would love to get a bunch of pictures of that and post it and tag us because we want to get those pictures. So before you leave, take a picture over in front of the big white screen, write Dream Loud on your hand if you don't mind. And I'm so glad. The one thing that I'm sorry, I'm going twice here. But one thing that Brad gave us here is that he gave me all of you guys. Like, that was like Stacie. And he would get so mad because he would always talk about going over to Devon's, and I would always say, "Who's Devon?" I did it on purpose, and he was just, "Shut up!"
No, Devon.
Well, he would just go off and up. But I got to know Devon now, and I'm so glad I did. But man, oh man, I wish I got to know you sooner. And Kash and Brad introduced me to Jimmy Buffett. I mean, I love Jimmy Buffett because of Kash and because of Brad. And before we leave, I'm going to read a Jimmy Buffett song about that. I just think sums it up. But I just wanted to say, I just want to call some people. Carrie, Brad loved you. Anytime Carrie was at an event, Brad said, "We got to go see Carrie." Ben, he loved sparring with you on the Con Guy show. But he just thought, Amanda, oh man, if Amanda was having a party, happy birthday, Amanda! Every single time. He loved Coy, he idolized you. Coy was like his North Star with so much. Justin, he always talked about you. Jesse, you were his buddy for those years. And man, I'm in trouble now because I'm just calling everybody out. And there's so many people here. I just want you guys to know, Brad, Kitty, he loved so many people. And Stacie, I want you to come up because otherwise I'll just keep on droning on.
Oh,
All right.
Hello, everybody. I'm Stacie. I'm going to kind of do a stream of consciousness because I don't have a formal thing. I speech, if you will. But I met Brad at Tony Roma's when I lived in LA for a little over a year. Brad was working at Tony Roma's, and I go pretty much every weekend to Tony Roma's up in Burbank to go see the movies. And he would come and see me and go, "Oh, it's you again," type of thing. Every weekend, but he finally figured out what I was doing, which I was going to the movie, and finally said, "Hey, can you wait for the next one and I'll go with you?" And that basically started our friendship. We'd go to the movies every weekend. We'd guess what the box office would be. do all those kind of silly things when we really didn't have a lot of connections to anything. And we started going to ArcLight in Sherman Oaks. We'd go to Cheesecake Factory before. We'd split dinner because Brad was too cheap to get his own meal. So we'd get the chicken Madeira and a salad, and we'd guess who was going to be the number one box office movie, and then whoever won didn't have to pay for dinner the next week because we'd be going every weekend to the movies. So that just turned into our own little betting scheme game. And then, there's just so many things. Also, fuck, that man was late to everything. He really was. I started telling him to be places 45 minutes before he actually really needed to be there, because even then he'd still be late, and there's other big things about Brad. I just thank God when I met Brad and the places we would go and the things we would do, there were not camera phones or the little GoPros or anything like that. So, we got into some shenanigans but none of it's on film, thank God. Because I'm sure I'd probably be in jail right now if it was on film. There's a couple things that Brad cherished. First of all of his friends. Like he loved everybody. But he was also like the king of connections. Oh, you can get me to do this? Oh, you can get this for me? Oh, but now let me do this for you so I can go get this. It's like that man knew how to work a system, let me tell you. But at the same time, he cherished, thank God Comic-Con was in July, because, that was his birthday month. I swear to God, Brad would celebrate a birthday year for himself, despite him never wanting to acknowledge how old he was. Because Paul, when I saw everything starting to get published, I started cracking up because I'm like, oh my God, Brad would, no pun intended, I'm so sorry, but Brad would totally die to see all his names spread across the media like it was. And every time I saw his age, I was like, bitch, please. You wish. But, I don't know if anybody remembers Tower Records on Sunset. A lot of you guys might be too young, I don't know, but Tower Records on Sunset, I can't tell you the amount of hours Brad and I spent in there looking through stuff and pretending to shop or actually buying some things, and the amount of memorabilia and novelty that man has. His apartment is a museum of, I'll just say shit, of, it's collectible shit, but it's really cool stuff. And, I'll never forget when we got a big screen TV for him, and he lives on the second floor, and the two of us tried to carry this big ass TV that had to have weighed 500 pounds, and we dropped it. And it went up the stairs and immediately came right back down. Thank God Costco has a good return policy, because we got a brand new TV the very next day.
Who's ever seen his apartment?
I've actually broken into his apartment. So I had to break into Brad's apartment once because he kept knocking on his door saying, you got to get up because you're going to miss your flight. And he never responded. And I finally break in, and he's laying on his bed, spread eagle, and it's just like, and there's young people, I'm not going to say what I said, but I scared him to where he jumped out of bed, and we still made his flight. He still got to you, Chris. But, I was saying Comic-Con in July and his birthday month, I swear that man lived for Comic-Con every year. He had so much fun. Half the time I'm like, how the fuck did you get into that? Or how did you sneak down to get into where you were? Because I know you did not have a ticket, and I know you were not supposed to be in there. So who did you con to get into those places? And a couple big things is, I remember when Brad started talking about Dream Loud. We were at Hugo's of all places, and he was like, I want to do this thing called Dream Loud. Will you do it with me? Blah, 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 blah. And he literally was trying to get it just to be Dream Loud and not Dream Loud official, but somebody else had Dream Loud, so he couldn't just do Dream Loud. But we were talking about it and what he really wanted to make of this, and it was really important to him. And the fact that Luke, Jim, you guys are talking about making sure it's continued, that's his legacy, besides his nieces and nephews and family, but that's really his legacy, and it would really mean so much to him. There's a couple other big things, and I'll tell you two quotes, and then I'll leave it with one thing. Brad used to always say, "Why are these people up in my business? They're not keeping my sheets warm." I don't know if you've heard that quote, but he would say it a lot, and it always cracked me up. And yes, he never called me a hooker because the first time he tried, I gave him the look of death, and he knew he could never do that again. Part of my job is working in sports, and today
Who do you work for?
the Los Angeles Dodgers. So nice hat. Brad used to always say, that damn job keeps you away from doing things. I'm like, well, Brad, I need to earn money. So it's part of my career. And, I work in production. So just like you, it's just a different type. And I used to always tell him less E and more ESPN because he just never understood. This is the Chandler Bing quote, if you guys don't know, but it was like, look more beyond just like Hollywood. But man, Hollywood, you guys with this, that was his thing. He lived for this. He loved it. Every single thing that happened in the industry, if I wasn't aware of what was going on or I wanted to know something, I could call Brad and go, what in the hell is this about? And he would automatically be able to tell me. So all the things you guys hooked him up with and he hooked you up with, thank you. Kept me in the loop a little bit. So then the last thing, about 20 some years ago, I told Brad, hey, I need to drive out to Palm Springs because my family was looking to buy. I'm from Seattle. My folks lived in Seattle, and they wanted a second house in Palm Springs, retirement, right? Sounds about right. I was like, Brad, you want to come with me? I'm going to go look at a few houses. Sure, I'll go out for the drive. I did not know. Asking Brad to drive me turned into that was his house. Because for the rest of our time knowing each other, and Brad was the biggest pain in my ass half the time, but I loved him to death, right? And we had the most on-off weird relationship of just being friends you could ever imagine, which I'm sure a lot of you guys probably end up having in some way. But always, I'm like, I'm going to the desert. Oh, you're going to go to my house? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to your house. And, so it's just, I don't know how it happened, but Brad ended up having a house. You don't get it. That's out in Palm Springs area. But yeah, that was Brad. And we had a weird relationship, fun relationship. We did a lot of crazy stuff, but here we are today. So thank you for letting me ramble.
We know why she's the queen and not a hooker. Jim is going to close
Hi,
us.
everybody.
We have at least a couple more.
Yeah.
We do have a couple more. Oh, okay. Before they come up, just before I forget, the pictures on the easel and that are on the table are up for grabs. So if you see yourself or you see a picture of Brad that you like, please feel free to take them, except for the 8x10. But everything else is up for grabs.
Oh, damn it, I forgot one thing.
Oh,
As
yeah.
I was talking about the Yankees and I got distracted by myself. Brad's damn Yankees hat. I don't know if anybody knows why he always wore that Yankees hat. I know, but who knows why Brad always wore that Yankees hat?
Oh.
Was it to annoy you?
No.
Oh.
So Brad always wore the Yankees hat because he started becoming self-conscious about the little thing.
Oh,
Okay. And so he always wore Yankees. I'm like, dude, stop wearing. You're in LA. Wear something besides Yankees. So when the attire thing came up today, like wear something Brad like inspired, I was like this close, and then I was like, yeah, no, I can't do it. So, but yes, that's it was to cover up. We should have gone to church, but
We talked about it.
Cash.
I know he did. Sorry, Kash.
Sorry.
So for most of you that don't know me, I am Kash and I am one of Brad's hookers. I do not have anything planned, so bear with me, Paul. I met Brad 23 years ago when I first moved to LA from Tennessee, kindred Southern spirits, at a place called Market City Cafe, which unfortunately no longer exists. But we became fast friends, and I was one of the few people in our group that had a house of themselves, so I became the gathering of parties for many, many years. And one of Brad's first birthdays at my house, our chef showed up, and proceeded to get really drunk and fall face first into Brad's cake on the patio, which took out the chef, almost my dog, the table, and the entire cake on the floor. And Brad just picked up the cake and started eating it anyway. I'm sure Brad. So many stories past that I won't share, but lots of fun stories. And one of my favorite things about Brad throughout our friendship, our lives change, things take direction. We weren't as in touch as much maybe, but connections to new people, connections to new stories. Like Brad was a connector. And like, even if we weren't in touch every day or every week, Brad was the best about birthdays. He never forgot anyone's birthdays or a holiday or a special occasion that he just never forgot any of those things. I think I have enough Barbies and pound puppies in the actual packaging that he gave me that I could start an eBay store. He promised me it'll all be worth a lot of money one day, so I'm going to hold you to that. This story may not be children appropriate, but I love this story, so I'm going to make it short and almost sweet. Brad was always about working out, the gym, diets, always about, I'm going to be 3 hours on the treadmill. I'm going to be an hour in the sauna. I'm going to do this and this and this and that. And one day he called me really excited because he found this new dieter's tea. And so he was all excited. He told me about it. And it's so great. I'm all cleansed out. I'm 5 pounds lighter. Everything's great. And I went and got some. I was like, oh, it's fantastic. And I'm looking at it. And I'm like, Brad, how long did you steep this tea for? He's like, 30 minutes. I was clean in like half an hour. I'm like, you're supposed to steep it for 3 to 5 minutes. So it became known as Brad's, pardon the children, Shitter's tea. Yeah. For years, we would talk about Shitter's tea. And there was Jimmy Buffett concerts. One of my favorite pastimes with Brad, connected me with wonderful other people you see here, was the Jimmy Buffett concerts. Our very first Jimmy Buffett concert, we didn't realize it was tailgating like Southern football games are, so they didn't prepare us. So we did not show up with a lot of things to tailgate with. We brought a bottle of tequila. So we started trading with other people. Oh, and Oreos. Brad bought Oreos, of course. So we had tequila and Oreos that we started trading with other people for fried chicken and mashed potatoes and everything else. Like, we made so many friends that day, and I actually have a video, which I won't share, of us passing a bottle of tequilas, chicken wings, and Oreos. It was one of my favorite Jimmy Buffett days. And then we lured in Jim and Luke, and the rest is history. I just want to say, like, this is he would love this. We all know he would love this group of everyone here coming together. But I'll end it on this because Brad was such a foodie. I do remember, like, Chick-fil-A was not here in LA, but we would always talk about Chick-fil-A. So I remember in Hollywood and Highland, they opened the first Chick-fil-A in California. And I believe he was there at like midnight waiting in line for Chick-fil-A. And that was Brad. He's like, you want to come on down? I'm like, it's midnight. There's a big line. Let's go get Chick-fil-A. I'm like, you just tell me all about it. But I'm going to end on a paraphrased Jimmy Buffett quote, which is, Brad, I really hope wherever you are, you're having a cheeseburger in paradise.
One more.
Okay. Now we're going to do one more, and then we will close it since we're
Hi, hey, Coy. I didn't know Brad very long, so I don't feel right going on, but I didn't want to jump in front of anybody. But I just had to say a few words because I met him earlier this year, and it was after a very impactful period of time after we leave from the LA fires and were evacuated. And the first place I go to when I come back to LA was a premiere, and that's where I met him. He took one picture of me with another actor who I invited here, but who knows. And that's not where we really got to connect, but I could feel his warmth and his kindness and his energy like right away. And I'm a Leo too, so we have that in common. And then I was working all summer and I couldn't go to any premieres or events. And the first one I was able to go to was this one. It was Nat Geo, and he was there. And I was having probably a spiritual conversation with the bartenders when he walked up, and we were talking about some, esoteric shit, and I was like, "Oh, Brad," and took him a second, and then he remembered, and we just got to talking like we've known each other forever, and it's just, he is so kind, and it was so easy to talk to him. He was so lovable, and I fall in love really easily, so I know that everybody knows that about him. And he opened up to me. I don't know how it came to be, but he opened up to me about the fact that he wanted to change, and that he was kind of sick of this lifestyle, and that he had a lot of anxiety and pain and neuroses going on in his mind, and that he needed like a reboot, a reset. And I can very much relate. I moved to LA when I was 18. I had a baby by myself at 21, and my old manager said I was like a chicken running around with their head off all the time while working and raising my daughter. And I took a break, and I pursued wellness and healing and exploration around the world and alternative methods of healing, not medication, but ancient ways, natural ways. And I was describing some of these things to him, and he was so, like, his eyes were open to it. He wanted it. And he said, I really, really fucking want to do that. I need like a nervous system reset. Like, I just need a reboot. And we made a plan to get lunch or dinner or something within the next few weeks, and really go over different options and see what resonates with him. I had places in Peru I could send him to, or Cambodia, or just, I like to just talk to people and see how they feel. And then you can kind of like, you tailor it to them specifically, because not one size fits all. And he also wanted to shoot me because, like, I had just been doing all those films and I needed press. So it was a full fluid, like, creative and healing, interpersonal journeying kind of like relationship that we had established. And it was really beautiful. So when I found out, and that's how I met Jesse Kove, actually. He introduced me to Jesse right there at that bar. And Jesse is the one who told me about this, thank God. And, oh wait. Car. And I couldn't really believe it that we were just about to have this life-changing lunch and dinner where he was going to start to find wellness and a reboot in himself, which we all fucking need at some point in our lives. We all really need to choose that for ourselves, no matter what degree or extremeness that you want to take it. I'm an extremist, but if you Coy knows me in the YOLO days, so we'll talk, but it's definitely night and day from back then. I used to have fun stabbing the fucking table with a knife, for example. Now I'm like a very peaceful person, but I let it out in acting, but it killed me to miss that opportunity with him. Like, it just didn't make any sense. Like, he was just right there. He was right there, ready for a reboot, for something more. And then, so I was talking to myself about this last night and crying, and I just feel like I got a lot of it out, the shock, but I had to share it with all of you, and give my love to Brad, who was such a lover, like such a lover of everything and of humanity. And I love you, Brad. Rest in peace.
Right. We are going to close, and I'm going to close like this. Just a couple words real quick. I just feel like me and Luke and Christine and Brad called us his Christian friends who drank too much. And there's nothing closer to the truth. And although Brad loved all this and he loved Hollywood, there is a deeper side to Brad that I just don't want us to miss. Brad was a spiritual dude. Brad, and although I come from the Judeo-Christian background, I know we're all from different backgrounds. I believe there's something else. And I am praying that I see Brad again. And Brad told me at one time, because we used to joke, we say, Brad, Brad, I would invite you to church, but you'd blow up into flame the moment you walk through the door, probably. And I remember Brad goes, I'm a Christian. He said that to me. And I'm like, you know what? Whatever anyone's believes, I believe I'm going to see Brad again because I don't believe this is the end. Brad, the heavier side of Brad is in this urn right now. He wasn't so skinny these days. And this is what
It's just the urn. It's not the ashes. It's just the urn.
Devon was telling us. It's a heavy urn.
It's a heavy urn.
I love Brad, and I am going to see him again. I fully believe that. I have faith that's going to happen. And from one more very spiritual thing I need to read from Jimmy Buffett. Kash, we're reading the Jimmy Buffett scripture song. And the song "Live Like It's Your Last Day." It's a very obscure. He doesn't sing it all the time, but let's close with this. What you want, what you dream, what you might have heard was beyond your reach. Oh, the water on the wind, on the move, on the edge, or maybe on the beach, for the chance or the dance or the new romance of every single day. Come on and live for the joy or the buzz, or maybe just because. I can't think of reason not to. Live, relive, learn to forgive. Time just keeps slipping away. Live and relive, learn to forgive. Live like it's your last day. Time just keeps slipping away. We love you, Bradley.
We love you, Brad.
Please get your pictures made with your live and get some drinks.
Thank you for coming. Eat more food, drink
Yes.
more liquor, and other things.
Put ranch on everything.
Everything. And just take your picture, have fun, enjoy each other. Absolutely. It would be weird, but don't do it. I can't recommend mixing liquor and ranch, but whatever. You do you. Love you all. Thank you for loving Brad, and he loved you so much. Thank you for coming tonight.
I think you've been hit to me.
Yeah, well, sorry, we just want to
I'm not really involved in that.
Yeah.
So
And if you care enough to want to help,
I mean, I wouldn't know your favorite.
And that's what Zach. Yeah, Zachariah.
So that's a lot of
Even like when we do gallery showing, like we could auction off the jackets. And of course, family, part of Dream
if I can get it if I have.
Yes, you. I remember that exactly.